All right. I think we're good to go ahead and start here. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. I'm not a professor, but you can call me Nap. And welcome, welcome. Hope everybody's having a great day today. I saw Neff. Hello. Good to saw you said hi during the little intro there. Hope you're having a great day too. And yeah, so let's see. Today is going to be, let's see. Today's going to be another research stream, as you can tell by the title. But because it is, Halloween spooky time, I decided to try and do one that's like a little, I thought was kind of creepy. Well, I posted it on Twitter, but we'll see it in just a second. Oh, I just remembered. Hold on. I also posted this on Twitter, but something that I forgot to look at during my job. So part of my job is working at a museum is that I get to go through sometimes like objects and collections that we have and stuff like that. And sometimes you find some interesting and cool things. Hold on, let me but I'll share it here. Share it here just because I think it's really cool or interesting and kind of funny. Just because I've always heard about these, but I've never actually seen them. Oh god, it's huge. Hold on. I was going through a newspapers from 1991, and in the middle of this newspaper, I find this. Personal ads. Hold on, let me move myself so I'm like a little bit more in the... Move me over and make me a little bit smaller so you can like see both of us. But yeah, this stuff is insane. What's crazy to me, and this is what surprised me. This was 2 pages. There were 2 pages full of these like different like personal ads. This is basically like Craigslist of its day, and just reading through these was just so interesting and like crazy and funny. And I was shocked because again, this is 1991. How many like LGBT ones there were in here? Because I mean, I guess this was the only way at the time you could, for the internet, to like people like that could meet each other in like a semi-private kind of way, But like these are all just like it was just 2 whole pages just like full of these, and like I just thought it was really interesting just to know that like this is what my museum is preserving. I also want to use this time, and I speak for pretty much every museum and archive out there. If you're thinking about donating something to a museum or archive, we do not want newspapers. We already have so many newspapers. They fall apart and become brittle so easily, and they're all already online. Almost every, as we've seen with my research streams, almost every newspaper like ever is like somewhere available online and has been digitized. Unless it's like a very local newspaper for like, and you're donating it to a very local museum, that's like the only exception. But if you just have like a bunch of newspaper clippings and stuff like that, especially if they're from like more major newspapers, no museum or archive is going to want that. So please stop donating those to us. We don't need them. We don't want them. Yes. Hey, Case, good to see you. Yes. Please call/email first before donating. Yes. Don't just show up and like drop in. And if it's moldy, we don't want it. Yes. Oh God. And this is the thing. I think museums, thankfully, are starting to change in this way. For the longest time, and this is probably more of a problem in like more local, smaller museums. Museums for the longest time were afraid to say no for any donation because they were afraid of any possible like potential bad press or just something, you know, like bad donor relations or something like that, that it would like cause some drama or something like that. So but thankfully I feel like museums are finally starting to like understand that like, hey, it's okay to say no. And that's why I also advise that if you do want to donate stuff and the museum does say no, don't take it personally. Don't take it personally. A lot of these museums, they have nowadays a good museum. Like most museums have a good museum, has a clear scope of collections saying, you know, like what they take. They have a very clear, like defined, like in their mission or just somewhere in their like documents, in their official like documents, that like this is what we're collecting, maybe a specific time period, maybe a specific region, like, you know, just so that way, you know, and if so that way if your stuff doesn't like, you know, if your stuff doesn't fall under that in that scope, they're probably not going to say, they're going to say no, and that's okay. Maybe a different museum will want it, or maybe nobody will want it, and that's sometimes, you know, that sucks, but every museum ever is facing a storage crisis. It doesn't matter what the museum is, every museum ever has a storage problem. And they're finally realizing that, like, hey, maybe we need to stop accepting everything that's given to us. Or, and I've also seen this change in some museums, they finally decided that, hey, maybe deaccessioning things isn't a bad thing. And if you don't know, deaccessioning is basically a fancy word for removing something from the collection, and taking things out of the collection. It's finally, I feel like it was seen as like a bad word in museums for like decades. But now that museums realize that, like, hey, we can't, like, especially as they face these like storage problems, it's like we have to do something. And they're finally realizing that like deaccessioning is not, especially things that fall out of their, like, if they make a new scope of collections, it's fine. I've seen that over my career. Oh yeah, no, I've seen it. Yeah, I think that's just a common thing. Just out all museums and archives, basically. But yeah, I just saw it's just, and but yeah, I bring that up just because I saw this, you know, this newspaper. I found this like newspaper full of these personal ads that I thought was just really interesting and really funny. And it goes to show that the people who made these personal ads had no idea that a museum like 35 years or yeah, 35 years later is going to be preserving this forever. Their ads will be preserved for all of time. But yeah, so that was just a little thing that I found at work the other day that I thought was really interesting. But let's see, there's nothing else really to talk about. So let's go ahead and I say let's get on over and get started with what we're looking at. Let's go on over to our classroom. This would be invasive probably, but I'd love to find these people and ask how their relationships were. Oh yeah, no, I would too. The nosy the nosy person in me, like, would want to know, like, I really want to know, like, what happened to, like, some of these people and, like, if any of these things worked out. But yeah, it would be such a huge invasive thing. But honestly, isn't that what research is? Especially genealogy research and stuff like this. I'm being very invasive right now, I feel like. The only difference is that these people are all dead. Hey, Pirate, good to see you. Welcome on in. Yeah, I know. It is different. Oh, wait. That reminds me of something else. Hold on. I'm sorry. We'll start this really soon, but I just remembered something. I also posted this. or I retweeted this on Twitter because I just thought it was so funny. Hold on, where is it? No. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Hold on. I'll show it on here so that way you guys can see it. But I saw this. I saw this on Twitter and I was like, why did you have to call me out like that? Here we go. And I hate that I'm in this picture and I don't like it. Because that's honestly what we do on these streams every time. It's like, I have to know. I have to find out. I gotta know what's going on with these people. I prefer to pretend I'm Sherlock Holmes. Thank you very much. I mean, honestly, I think of like, I've thought of that too. It's like, I have compared what I do, like, you know, and why I like doing this. I've compared it to like detective work, you know. That's what it feels like, you know, and you're trying to like puzzle solve and like trying to figure things out. It's like Professor Layton or Sherlock Holmes. So that's But this also I think is a different. I feel like this also describes me as well. All right. Anyway, to what we're actually researching today. So, considering it is Halloween time and the spooky season, I figured, why not we go ahead and research something a little creepy? And I found this one because I mean, just just look at that. Because if anything this patent research has taught us is that some of these patents can be just pure nightmare fuel. And this one is no exception. I mean, this is kind of creepy just on its own, but like you add the little bit where it separates, oof. That just really, really does it. All right. And so basically what this is that this is a special, like, well, it says novelty doll. And what it is that it's a type of like gift doll where this face part is actually a piece of soap. And these right here are rags or towels. So the point of it is like you give it as a gift, you know, and you like, it's like a bundle kind of thing. And we can see here that this is made by somebody named Lulu Case from Berkeley, California. They filed for the patent in 1923, February of 1923, and patented October 28, 1924. So Berkeley, from what I've seen, it's outside of San Francisco, so it's not a super, especially at this time, it's not a super metropolitan area. So I don't think it'll be that difficult to find her. It's right next to like Oakland and stuff, and I'm hoping that the first name Lulu is like unique enough that it's good. I'm also hoping that's their legal name, because I mean, I would assume that because they're filing for like this patent application that is their legal name. But, you know, who knows with this sometimes. But anyway, let's read a little bit more about this. All right, here we go. Be it known that I, Lulu Case, a citizen of the United States and a resident of Berkeley, County of Alameda, State of California, have invented a new and useful novelty doll, of which the following is a specification. My invention relates to a novelty doll and has for its primary object to utilize certain existing materials, which, while ordinarily produced for other purposes, happen to offer an opportunity of utilizing the same in producing a doll without in any way destroying the intended use of the materials should the purchaser decide to take the doll apart. I guess what she's saying is that technically you don't have to take it apart. You can just play with the doll. Just play with the towel and soap as it is. To more clearly explain the salient features of the invention and the use that I have made in the materials required, I propose to take an ordinary so-called washcloth and a cake of soap, and without in any way destroying or otherwise impairing their intended use, produce a unique novelty doll with the assembly of the materials so accomplished that the user may take the doll apart so as to speak and use both the washcloth and the cake of soap in the customary manner. In the company drawings, which illustrates the referred embodiment of the invention. Figure 1 is a perspective view of the assembly. Figure 2 is a detail view, showing the finished folding or arrangement of the cloth to produce the garment or body portion of the doll. And figure 3 is a detail. Okay, those are just talking about all the pieces and how it's folded. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's see if we can find Lulu. I really hope that's her real name. We don't have, unfortunately, we also don't have a middle name with this one. So we know they lived in Berkeley. They specifically lived there in 1923, so let's put that, and hopefully maybe we'll get a city directory. All right. Let's see what we got. Okay. Okay, we have somebody right here, Residence 1924. City Directory, Lulu Case. And then we have a bunch of these. Miss Lulu L. Case. Living in Alameda. Okay. Oh, wait, hold on. I forgot our bingo. We gotta mark our free spot on our bingo. Okay, so let's look at this city directory first. Okay, case. Okay, there's a lot of cases. Okay, yeah, Oakland. Okay. Lulu. Oh, that's a widow? Minor N. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh no, there's... Don't tell me there's 2 Lulus. Oh, there's 2 Lulus. Oh god, okay. Well, one of them is a bacteriologist, and this one looks like it specifically says Berkeley. And city bacteriologists, that could explain why she's interested in soap. Then there's also this Lulu. Okay, there's not enough really to go off of. Okay. This is for, okay, Alameda County, which is where she's from. She is specifically from Alameda County. This is from 1922. And yeah, Miss Lulu L. Case. and city bacteriologist. Soap dolls also feel like something a little old widow lady would invent, though. That is, you're right. Yeah, that is true. The only thing is that, like, she specifically, this right here, this voter registration specifically says that she's in Alameda County, which is where Berkeley is located. Yeah, County of Alameda. And then there's, oh wait, hold on. What about this one though? Miss Lulu Case. Oh God, there's two. Hold on, yeah, because these are. Oh God. Okay. They like both. They like both. Shoot. Okay. I'm trying to think here. Because this is her husband. Who they said in this was a widow, right? And this is 1924. So something happened, I guess, between 1922 and 1924. Unless he just wasn't, even if he was dead, maybe he wasn't taken off of the voter registry. Okay. Because there's a few different things here. Obviously, there's the whole, like, city bacteriologist. Which does make a case for, and no pun intended, does make a case for her possibly doing something with soap. However, this one, Miss Lulu Case, specifically has no middle name. And there is no middle initial or middle name mentioned on this one compared to the other one. Let's see. She also listed here still? Okay. This is the 1924 one, and yeah, her husband is not listed here. So something happened between 1922 and 1924 with her. Wait, when was the patent? February of 1923. Okay, and it was patented in 1924. So she might not have been a widow yet. She might not have been a widow yet when she applied for this patent. Okay, if we can find... Okay, here we go. I have an idea. If we... maybe try find a grave. And if we can find the widow's husband, we know his name, Minor, and then Case. I'm assuming he's going to be buried in... God, I'm assuming he's going to be buried in California, but possible not. I'll put 1923 as the year died, and then like plus or minus 1 year. Oh wait, hold on! I just realized you guys can't see this. Here we go. Okay. Okay. Travel time. Oakland. There we go. Okay. Okay. He's here, but there's nothing connecting Lulu. Okay, hold on. Case. In Berkeley, California, September 8th, 1923. Minor N. Case, loving husband of Lulu Case, father of Hallock M. Case of Dallas, Texas, and Miss Alice N. Peck of Portland, Oregon, brother of Calvin L. Case of Berkeley, and Hallock H. Case of Mobile, Alabama, a native of Kentucky, a member of the Bodley Lodge number 1 AF and AM of Quincy, Illinois, Quincy Lodge number 12 IOOF, Quincy Lodge, Modern Woodmen of America. Hey, Modern Woodmen of America. They were in our last thing because they owned the sanatorium that we found. And Royal Neighbors, number 2342 of Berkeley. Friends are respectfully invited to attend the funeral services Wednesday afternoon, September 12th, at the California Crematorium, 4499 Piedmont Avenue, Oakland, under the auspices of Thousand Oaks Lodge. Okay, yeah. Friends may call Berkeley. Okay, that's from the Oakland Tribune. So wait, hold on, yeah. He died September 10th, 1923. This was filed February 19th, 1923. Okay. What? Okay, so this doesn't unfortunately connect to her, because I was hoping that this would like connect to her grave, and then that would have more information about that specific Lulu. Because here's the other thing too, is that in this city directory, it's oh well, this says that this Lulu is from Berkeley as well. Okay, how about we try, I think we might have to go to newspapers. See if we can find the patent in the newspaper. I think it's saying that it's the city bacteriologist for the city of Berkeley. Yes, yeah, you're right. So that means they both, because this, yeah, so, and then, what is it? This said that he was living in Berkeley. So yeah, that doesn't actually narrow it down at all. They're both in Berkeley. I would assume that if she's the city bacteriologist for the city of Berkeley, she would probably live in Berkeley. I mean, a lot of those cities, it's a very like suburban area, so like a lot of those cities kind of like blend and merge together. So it's possible she could live somewhere else, but okay. It's Oakland City Directory, though. Yeah, it is. Again, it doesn't. None of these things actually really narrow it down, because we're pretty sure that, or well, it is the Oakland City Directory. Hold on. Let's look at. Okay. Let's look at. So, yeah, we have Oakland. Berkeley's over here. I just mistook 1633 for the year rather than the address. I think I'm gonna go back to bed. Hey, I mean, you know, it. Honestly, that's a very. I could see that happening, honestly. No, but if you do end up going back to bed, I hope you can sleep well. But hey, maybe they are just really. It's a really old city directory, or they're vampires. They've been around forever, or witches. You know. Let's see. So it's 1633 Posen Avenue. 1633. Whoops. Posen Avenue. Posen Avenue is in Berkeley. Okay. I was hoping that like maybe if that one's actually not in Berkeley, then we'll. Oh no, sorry, that's Lulu, not the city bacteriologist one. Okay, hold on. 2486 Shattuck. 6 Shattuck Avenue. Nope, it's also in Berkeley. Oh, it's like a major street in Berkeley. Right by downtown Berkeley. Okay. Let's see. I think... Okay, I think... Let's see. I'm going to try and pull up newspapers, actually. And let's see... let's just try Lulu Case. Alameda County. And let's just do 1922 to 1924. So that if the patent is in the newspaper, it would be in that area. Let's see. Okay, so sort. Let's do newest, actually. Hold on. So when was this? October 28th. Okay, this one from November 8th. The Oakland Tribune. Royal neighbors of 3 states meet in Oakland. The Royal Neighbors of America held their annual bi-county meeting in School of Instruction in Redman's Hall, Richmond, last Monday evening. Visitors from 3 states and members of the camps around the bay were present. The guests of honor were Lulu Case, Supreme Vice Oracle, Christiana Hamill, State Supervising Deputy, and Jenny Foster, District Deputy of Richmond. School of Instruction. What is Supreme Vice Oracle? What is this? A School of Instruction was given under the direction of Christiana Hamill. Supper was served by the members of the Richmond camp. The evening was taken up by competitive drills, honors going to Oakland camp. The next annual meeting will be held in Hayward next year. Newly elected officers. Huh. It's just some sort of like society, I guess. The Royal Neighbors of America. Huh. Okay, hold on, what's this one? Drill team of neighbors plans for masquerade. Miss Lulu Case of Berkeley was present. Okay, so yeah, so she's part of this organization. Yeah, Oracle. Neighbor Lulu Case, Oracle, Supreme Oracle. Is that what majority? How many are there? 46. Oracle. Supreme Oracle. Is this also Supreme Oracle? She's Supreme Oracle, not. Victory Camp of Royal Neighbors launched here. By Supreme Vice Oracle, assisted by... Okay. We're installed by Lulu Case. Okay, so yeah, she's part of this group, whatever it is. Okay, hold on. Miss Lulu Case. Trials Disease Bugs to Liar. Miss Lulu Case, Berkeley City bacteriologist, under whose searching glance millions of germs have been sent on their way out of the city college. Woman finishes 7 years as germ specialist. Is that her? I think that's her. Yeah, it is her. There she is. That's one of them. I'm not sure if that's our Lulu. It is quite a piercing gaze, yeah. She's looking off, pondering what she just saw in her under her microscope. Let's see. Woman finishes 7 years as germ specialist. The 7th anniversary of her appointment as city bacteriologist in Berkeley is being celebrated by Miss Lulu Case. To Miss Case belongs the prestige of having chased more germs out of the college community than any other one person. Conservatively speaking, she has sent millions of them on the run, counting all the ramifications of the troublesome family. To Miss Case, do the babies of Berkeley owe their record as the healthiest infants in the United States. For samples of all milk sold here must be sampled microscopically in the city bacteriological laboratory in the basement of the city hall. The task of keeping older folks healthy, too, also falls to a lot of this feminine germ chaser, and samples of water from the city's swimming pools are regularly examined by her. Miss Case has just finished an unusually busy month with a total of 568 tests of various kinds made by her, including 209 analyses of milk. Miss Case came to Berkeley 7 years ago from Kansas after trying her hand at school, teaching and newspaper work. She is a graduate of Kansas Agricultural College and would rather chase germs than either teach or do reporting. Hey, College Core, good to see ya. No, you're not late. You're good. There's no such thing really as being late to one of these streams. Just to quickly fill you in, we're currently looking up the inventor. Because it's a spooky season, I want to do a creepy one. And we got this terrifying soap face doll, where it's a gift where you gift soap wrapped in a washcloth. And we know that it's invented by a woman named Lulu Case who lived in Berkeley, California. However, we have discovered that on this exact same time, there are 2 Lulus living in Berkeley, California. One of them is a older woman. Actually, you know what? No, we actually don't know how old this Lulu Case is. She actually could not be old. Because how old was her husband when he died? Okay, he was 70. Okay, so she could be older. But the other Lulu Case living in this city was the city bacteriologist. In fact, we actually what we were reading was a little article about her, and that's her right here. This Lulu Case, it kind of does make sense that she would maybe invent this because it's soap, and she's a bacteriologist. Like, but we can't. Okay, I'm trying to think. How else can we possibly narrow this down? If we can't find a newspaper article about it. Oh, and also Lulu was apparently the supreme vice oracle for this society called the Royal Neighbors. The Royal Neighbors of America. So again, it's like... It's one of those things where... She could... Like, it could honestly be either of them. Because this is something that, like, an older... As Case said earlier, like, an older woman would maybe patent. But it's the fact that it's soap. If it was easy, it wouldn't be fun. I do get that. I'm just I'll be honest, like, I'm nervous that, like, when it's hard to figure out like this, that it gets, from, like, a viewer perspective, like, it's not as interesting or engaging. Because then we can't really 100%, like, find, like, because, like, find stuff or figure out, like, learn actually about the specific person. But, so that's what I'm nervous about when, like, it comes up to being one of these, where there's, like, two people with the same name. I do this all day for my job. I enjoy watching someone else suffer. Hey, I mean, you know, I glad I could give you some cathartic, you know, outlet. Okay. The only other thing... Oh, wait, no, not family trees. That's not what I meant to click on. Hold on. What if... Let's see. Which one was it? Stories, memories, histories, Courtlands. It was under this one, right? Patent. That's not the right cases. No, okay, that's not what we're looking for. I find theoretical stuff interesting. I'm okay with not always having definitive answers. Okay, that's, I mean, as long as, you know, you guys are okay with it, that's honestly what I, you know, care about. Okay, hold on, let's clear that. Lulu Case, no. Okay, hold on. Let's try... I guess maybe let's just try learning a little bit more about each of them. Because this is probably... Okay, this Find a Grave is for the other Lucy, I think. Woodland Cemetery, Yolo, County, California. 1888. Hold on, what year, or did she say where she, did it say where she was from in this article? Berkeley, 7th anniversary. Babies. Just finished usually busy month. She came to Berkeley 7 years ago from Kansas. Okay, she was in Kansas. This says she was born... So this one says she was born in Missouri. Hold on. Case handled before 1919 in California. Left to right. Edwin Lulu. Okay, so that's her. That's her. Does that... Is that the same? I think that looks like her. I think she's wearing glasses in this photo. And doesn't look like she's wearing glasses. Is she wearing... It's hard to tell because of the quality of the photo. She's not wearing glasses here, but I'm looking at the nose. I think the nose looks similar. What about head shape? I think that is her. Okay, hold on. Okay, this is a Kansas newspaper. Hold on. Topic: education. Kansas publication date. Okay, yeah. 21 say goodbye. Lulu Case. Okay, yeah, this is her. Domestic science, yeah. From Manhattan, Kansas. Okay, yeah, this is... So Lucy... This Lucy Lulu... Lulu Lucy Case is this one. Mm-hmm. Look at that. Lucy Case. Look at that. Yeah, Kansas State Agricultural College. Okay, that's her. So we're finding a lot about this Lucy Case. Or Lulu Case. But the other one... I feel like if this one was her, she would have a middle initial. She would have put her middle initial in this. Let me find out more. Let's see. Lulu Case. Hold on. There's the Kansas State alumni. Oh, okay. That's the wrong. That's the other Lulu case. Hold on. What about this Ohio? Okay, this is her. So her birth name. Which one is she? Oh, here. Ohio County. Okay, so they were living in Ohio. Lulu A. This is her. So her middle initial was A. So she did have a middle name. Okay. I thought maybe like there was a possibility to like, oh, she just didn't have a middle name. What about this death certificate? Birthplace, Ohio. Father name. Mother unknown. Housewife. Okay, married. Okay. Probably Anne. I don't know. Okay, she died. (1930) 1936. She was born 1858. So she would be like in her like mid 70s if she filed the patent. Acute bronchitis. Is it pneumonia? Or no? Acute bronch something. Markdown sales. Where is this? Dallas, Texas. So she moved to Dallas, Texas at some point. Wait, didn't it? Hold on. Her husband. Loving husband, Lulu Case, father of Halleck M. Case of Dallas, Texas. So she went to live with her son. Which makes sense as she got older. Let's see. Yeah, cottagecore. Yeah, that was her birth name. Hold on. Changed to 1925. To see. What's this one? City employees planned party in Berkeley. City bacteria. Okay, so that's that Lulu case. City bacteriologist. East Bay Camp sending royal neighbors here. All around the bay. Okay, yeah, so this is the other Lulu case. Looks like a majorities are like these all look like things from the society that she was a part of. She was super involved in it, it looks like. Fancy clothes dance planned by 2 lodges. Supreme Vice Oracle, yeah. So that's the other one. Okay, hold on. Let's do 1924. Let's just do general California. Because sometimes other newspapers will talk about other patents. But that doesn't seem to be the case here, it looks like. Honor. No. Guess of the thing, no. Oracle. Oracle, Oracle. What is this? Manhattan. Lulu Case, Manhattan Beach. Oh, that's... Okay, no, that's not near where we are. Let's... Okay, maybe let's try an earlier one, maybe? We go on the oldest. Officer, Oracle, fills in the hall, Oracle. This one we already looked at. Maybe... Patent developing, just a... This one. Camp plan session. No, that's still the same. Yeah, patent attorneys. Good. Sure, that is the right date, right? 1924. Yeah. No, none of these are... You'll bet. 20. Lulu Case, wife, yeah. Okay, she's 60 in 1920. Birthplace, Ohio. Oh, husband was an elevator operator. Okay. So her husband was an elevator operator, and at the time, the other Lulu Case, she wasn't married. In fact, judging by her grave, she probably never married. Because her grave is still her maiden name. There's no husband listed here, and it's just her siblings. Wow, she lived to be 88 years old. Oh boy. I'll say if like the other if the other Lulu Case wasn't a bacteriologist and the thing wasn't soap, like well, if it wasn't soap, it wouldn't be this hard because like God. And yeah, she's older. The other one is older at this time, but you could still file a patent when you're in your 60s. Like that. I don't think that really matters. Loose head and a cloth being folded around the head to simulate the body, exposing a face. Cloth. Nice doll. A novelty doll made from the washcloth and a cake of soap, and cloth being folded on the edge of the cake of soap in simulation of hood shape. Okay, dang. We just... I'm running out of ideas of trying to determine which Lulu Case. God, if only you had a middle name listed here. Does the other Lulu Case... Hold on. Does the other Lulu Case... What was she doing in... Well, 1920... It's probably going to say city bacteriologist. Yeah, Lulu L Case. Yeah, staying at somebody else's house. Lodging at somebody else's house. Bacteriologist, public health. Oh, she was lodging somebody who was a medical student. Okay. Where did she move to? Is she in 1930? Okay, she's living with her mother. Still in Oakland. 1930. Oh, she's a teacher. Hold on. What was she at that point? 42? She's a teacher. But didn't it say... Hold on. Didn't it say here? She graduated from Kansas Agricultural College and would rather chase germs than either teach or do reporting. Dang, but she still had to become a teacher. Even though it seems like she didn't want to. Could it be... It could be because of the depression, maybe? That maybe her department in the... Her department in the city hall was, like, closed for, like, budget reasons. And she had to become a teacher. It is 1930. Is there a later one? I don't see a later one. Hold on, let me... Oh, it just says California. Hold on. Oh, that's No, that's Alabama. Berkeley, Oakland, Michigan. Yeah, it's still just that one thing for the patent. It's Oregon. Washington. Ooh, Case. Yeah, okay, so there's nothing there. Okay, how about this? Let's look in... Because sometimes... We could look at family search. Let me just sign into that real quick. Because family search sometimes... I mean, like last time when we used family search, we found that whole biography of the person we were looking for. Maybe if we're lucky... we'll find that here. Let's look up our other Lulu. She was born in 1858. Where did it say she was from in the death certificate? Where she was born? Ohio. Okay. Oh. Here we go. Okay. Here's something. So this is her. Yeah, minor. Had children. Okay, yes, this is her. However, Lulu here it says here is not her legal name. Mary is her legal name. it's not impossible that she could have, like, done this. Like, with not her real name. But I feel like it would have, I don't know, been... I feel like if this was an official, like, patent, like, government document, you would use your legal name. But I mean, then again, her death certificate... Her death certificate has this name. It doesn't have Mary. Hold on, what if... we know... We know she died... What year was it? $1936. Okay. If we maybe look up her legal name on here. Mary L. Casey. Mary L. Case. No, this is October 1937. That's not her. Okay, let's switch it. Let's actually put Lulu here and just see if maybe she comes up. Lulu Jane Case. Okay, Casey, Lulu Mae Johnson. No, nothing. Dang, this is turning out to be a tough one. Every time I think they're not going to be that tough, it always turns out that there's something going on. Let's see. Hold on. Lulu Case, 1936. Let's see. That's Hollywood. Oh, Oakland. Which Lulu Case is this? Be in charge of the institution. Wide range in EEP courses. Alameda. Okay, but this is interesting. Look at this. Also opening today is the nursery school operated under the State Department of Education at Everett's School. Miss Lulu Case will be in charge of the institution, which is for children of families who incomes a great less than $100 per month. New registrations are being received today. So, okay, so she's still involved in, like, kind of teaching, and she's doing like a charity kind of thing with this too, which is cool. Because those two are Hollywood and Los Angeles. I don't think that's her. There's nothing for Texas. Oh, hold on. Miss Lulu Case and children of Dallas, Texas, is visiting her father and mother, Mr. and Mrs. Her father and mother, Mr. and Mrs. W.J. Green. Okay, no, that's not her, because her maiden name's not Green. You know, she was living in Dallas at the time. Okay, so we can't find an obituary for the other Lulu case. Okay, what about the other one? When did the other one die? 1977. Oops, nope, not 1877. Nothing. Lulu case. Not Honolulu. She wasn't living in Hawaii, I don't think. Dang, okay, no obituary. Oh wait, hold on. Oh no. Oh, we're gonna get like minor case. The phrase minor case or minor cases in all of these. Hold on. Alameda County, minor case, minor. No, okay. I was hoping that maybe because a lot of times in these old records they don't list the wife by her actual name. But he died in 1923. Okay. This is the same. Yeah, this is the same thing we read. This is the same thing we read on Find a Grave. Is this the same thing? Yes, same thing. Same thing. Hold on. Yeah, those are all about the... Oh, what was this one? We'll join a picnic. Los Angeles, her mother, and to Supreme Vice Oracle Lulu Case of Berkeley. whose husband recently passed away. Okay, so that's them talking about that. What if... I'm just trying to think if there's like any more clues. Yeah, she just signed it. Lulu Case here. Signature there. If we could somehow find a signature or find out if they had another patent. Hold on. Maybe they had another... Their search is really not that great on this because you can only put one word in either of these, and that's it, in either of these boxes. So you can't do like the quotes thing of like Lulu Case in one of these. Okay, this doll is the only thing that comes up. There's nothing else. Okay, well, I was hoping that maybe we could find something we can compare, like signatures. Hold on, are there any documents here that might have a signature? No. No, you want... Specifically California. Let's see, May more. No. What are registrations? So Ella Case, Lulu Lucy Case, Lulu Ella Case. Photo registrations don't have like signatures. Yeah, nothing else here. Just the same city directory. Federal census, photo registrations. Wait, did her marriage record have a signature? Oh no, that's just written out. Did she write that? Or is this written by... No, these are two different hand signatures. And... Lulu... Penel... Lulu Case. I mean, this would be like decades later, so her signature could have changed, but oh, hold on. That's just the August. C directories, C directories, C directories. Not Miss Lulu C case. C directories, C directories, C directories. C directories aren't going to have signatures. Applications. No. That's a different case. M case. Yeah, those voter registrations don't have like signatures or anything. Um, Deaths, those are census records. Hold on. Blue A Panel. This is in Illinois. Oh, there is no image available for this one. Okay, let's hold on. Let's see if we can find the other Lulu. Let's see if we can find the other Lulu. So, Lulu L case. 1888. Born in Missouri. Okay, yeah, this is her. Death. Oh, is this her death? Okay, so this is her death record. Lulu Lucy case. There's not much with this one. 1900 census, 1910 census, 1930 census, and the funeral record. Informant, nephew. Never married. Last occupation, lab technician. City of Oakland. Ooh, L. Yeah, born in Missouri. Cremation. Okay. She's cremated. Yeah, there's... Well, hold on. Were we able to find other... Sherman Club. Yeah, it doesn't really help us. Um... 1950 census? Yeah, living in Berkeley. Dairy technician, city health department. Okay, so yeah, she went back to working in the lab. Look at that. And dairy, yeah, 'cause she did work with milk and the other thing, it said. Hmm. I mean... I'm trying to think of other things that might, like, have like her like a signature. Uh, 88. Missouri. Hmm. Okay, hold on. This looks like her. This is all stuff I think we already found, though. Yeah, there's nothing... There's nothing here that adds anything new. Yeah, that's that one that we found before. If only the voter registrations were like their actual applications. Hmm. Oh, wait. Photos of scan. Hold on. Oh, is this a different one? No, it's the same. It's a different one that somebody made. Ugh. Um. Let's look later. Okay. Hold on, what is this? Polling place. Oh, these are polling places for voting. Okay, that's just for Lulu Case. But what if we just change it to Lulu? Oh wait, yeah. Miss Lulu Case. Milk Inspection Bureau. It is awesome that she was like in charge of all this, it seems like. Police nursing unit, chief nurse. That Turner in charge of the laboratory in charge of Miss Lulu Case will be one of the best equipped public health laboratories in the state. It seems like she had like a lot of, you know, for like a woman scientist and lab, like at the time, it seems like she had a lot of like opportunities, you know, compared to what you would expect in the 20s. Like, yeah. Let's see. Ex-Kansas Aggies hold reunion. Okay, yeah, so that's referring to her. Daggers found in meter box by Berkeley youth. Wooden sheath knife discovered in apartment house given to police. Miss Lulu Case, city bacteriologist, has turned over to the police an antique bone-handled dagger encased in a wooden sheath, which was found in a gas meter box at her apartment at 1918 Grant Street. Dagger was given to Miss Case by Ronald Johnson, 15, a resident of the same apartment house who discovered it in the meter box. Patrolman Thomas Mayhow, who investigated the case, believes that the dagger may have been placed in the box by a passerby, the meter box being within a short distance of the gate of the apartment dwelling. I mean, that's a crazy thing to leave into a sheathed. It wasn't like stabbed into it because it was sheath. At first I thought it was like, oh, they stabbed it into the meter box, but like no, it says it was sheath. Maybe somebody was like hiding it for like later or something? Who knows? That's weird. Berkeley milk supply rating high for year. A condition is boosted by the preserve trade competition. Berkeley's milk supply has been kept at a rating of 94.7% during 1926. Ms. Lulu Case, city bacteriologist, reported today. To ensure good milk, more 3,000 analytical tests were made of samples from 135 dairies distributed in the city college through 15 plants and several small ones. No cases or outbreaks of infectious disease were traced to milk during the past year. I mean, it sounds like she was great at her job. to not have any problems like that in, you know, 1926? Oh, there she is again. Teeth chins to disappear, scientist asserts. Weak race foreseen by Dr. Dorsey. Mentality may be low. Oh no, is this getting into like eugenics? No more toothaches, no more dental bills, no more patches of stubbly bristle masculine chins, which try the tempers of steel razor blades and the men who wield them. These are a few of the things which scientists today predict for the human race if evolution continues its present course. Okay, that's official. Official bacteriologist of the Berkeley Health Department, Ms. Lulu Case, makes many daily tests of milk samples taken at random, above containing bacteria under a microscope. Look at her go. Look at her working. An average purity of 94.7% was maintained during the past year of these tests. Above a sample of milk under a microscope, the bacterial count is checked daily. I mean, it looks like a bunch of dots. I can't tell if that's good or bad. I was a humanities major, not a science major. Samples are taken from bottles by Miss Case using a pipette. These samples in special dishes are heated to increase bacterial activity to facilitate checking. Each month, 150 safeguarding tests are taken. So they're testing like dozens of like 10, at least like 5 to 10 of these a day. Jeez. Let's see. Berkeley City employees picnic. Okay. I thought that said panic for a second. And I was like, oh God, what's happening? More than 100 employees of the city of Berkeley left today for the annual weekend picnic at Cazadero Redwood Camp. Chairman of the entertainment committees include Miss Lulu Case, Mrs. Bernadette Lester, and Granville Thomas, superintendent of the municipal campgrounds. Okay. Swap jobs. What is this? There she is again. Ms. Lulu Case, for 12 years Berkeley City bacteriologist, resigns to become a teacher of home economics in the Oakland School Department. She resigned. Why did she resign? After 12 years as city bacteriologist, Ms. Lulu Case, graduate of the University of Kansas, has resigned her position to become a teacher of home economics in the Oakland School Department. Ms. Case has developed Berkeley's bacteriological laboratories to a highly efficient state during her official career, and has seen her department increase greatly in its duty as a preventative agency of the health department. Before becoming affiliated with the city of Berkeley, Ms. Case was a teacher in home economics in Kansas. In Oakland, she will be a member of the faculty of the Piedmont Avenue School, beginning her new work there next Tuesday. Mrs. Blanche Knight, technician of the bacteriology department, will become acting head of the branch of municipal service. Ms. Case was given a farewell party by City Hall employees last week and was presented with a gift on behalf of her fellow workers. Huh. I wonder why she decided to leave. Why would she... Huh. Well, at this point, okay, it's 1928. How old is she? She's 40. Okay. So I can't see it being like I thought maybe, okay, maybe she's kind of like semi-retiring, but she's only 40. And we know she goes back to the laboratory because of later newspaper articles we found. What is this? Royal Neighbors of America and the Modern Woodmen will hold a reception and installation of a new officers Wednesday evening, January 16th. Miss Lulu Case of Berkeley will be one of the installing officers. Oh god, so she joined the same group. Oh god, that means there's two... That means there's two Lulu Cases in the same group. Okay, what if we change this to Mrs.? Let's see, what were they doing? This case coming. The official members of the Hayward Royal Neighbors are arranging for a visit of the district deputy, Miss Lulu Case of Berkeley, in the next meeting. The Oddfellows Hall. Miss Case will be accompanied by other state officers, a program, entertainment. Okay. Hold on, let me look up. What is this group? Royal Neighbors of America. Royal Neighbors of America. It's a life insurance group. I was not expecting that. It's a life insurance group. And apparently it... Does it still exist? It's specifically for women. Ensuring lives supporting women serving communities. Our mission covers 3 core pillars: ensuring lives supporting women and serving communities. Insurance protection has been apparent. We have been pioneers in making life insurance accessible to women when few would. They have a history? Here we go, history. 130, founded by 9 visionary women united by a mission from the inaugural gathering in Council Bluffs, Iowa, our grassroots initiatives have left a lasting mark. At the Royal Neighbors Digital Museum, go into early 1900s magazine articles. Our collections of artifacts is ever evolving. If you wish to contribute an artifact or seek more information, contact us. Wow. Hold on, what is this digital museum? The Royal Neighbors was founded in 1895 by 9 strong women with a mission-driven fraternal benefit society, one of the first to offer life insurance to women. Today, we are a successful organization dedicated to empowering women in local communities through volunteerism. The Royal Neighbors Archive holds a wealth of photographs, documents, and artifacts that illustrate over 120 years of the organization's history. Hold on. Lulu Case. That's her. Lulu Case is a custodian of the Royal Neighbors headquarters. Lulu Case, okay. Custodian portraits. Oakland, California. That has to be, that's her. Look at that. We found photos of both of them. I'm glad my life insurance company doesn't make me attend social events with weird titles, yeah. Or have titles like, oh god, where is it? Where does it say it? I have too many newspaper articles. Yeah, Supreme Vice Oracle. That's a weird title for a life insurance company. That's crazy that we found a photo of her through this. Wow. So whichever one it is, whoever invented this, we now have potential photos. We have photos of both of them now. Plot twist, they're the same person, you know? At this point, I wouldn't be surprised. Wow. You know what? Okay. Because we found certain things for both of them, this is what I'm going to say. We found more than one census for both of them. We found city directory for both of them. Got picture found for both of them. I don't want to do ones that are like just one for like, because it's like then we would get an easy bingo. Because we do have a death certificate for one of them. One of them was widowed. One of them was always single. One of them we have a marriage certificate. We don't have obituaries for either of them. Wow. Okay. That's the same thing. This Lulu Case, district deputy, was a visitor at the meeting. They're the same person and undead. Hence no obits. Well, we did find a death certificate for... No, wait, we found death certificates for both of them. We found death certificates... Yeah. For both of them. Hold on, I can mark that on here. We got death certificate for both of them. Fake news. I mean, hey, you know, maybe you're right. You never know who to believe anymore. We could... We could, I think, also say that, I mean, would unrelated job count for this? Because one of them, okay, the bacteriologist, it's kind of related, but not really, because it's technically a doll. It's like a novelty doll with the soap in it. And I wouldn't say that's similar. And the other woman was a housewife. So she didn't have a job other than just taking care of the home. So I would say this kind of falls under both of them. The undead have to fake their deaths periodically to avoid... That is true. You know what? You make a good point. Okay, how about this? If we can find a house for both of them, if both of their houses still exist, we could get a bingo. Because technically, no matter who we would have searched, we would have gotten all of these. Because, like I said, both of them are in these. So let's see real quick. Where was that voter registration, or that city directory that had both of their... Oh, that's right. This one, let's see. I love how this has changed from find the right person to can we get a bingo from both of them? Well, honestly, you know, that's kind of... Unfortunately, we're kind of at the point where it's like, I can't really determine 100% with 100% certainty, like, which one did it, which one made the patent. Because like you said earlier, who knew that there were going to be the odds of 2 Lulu cases in Alameda County in the same year in 1924? Who knew? Because we did search for this one still existed. So this Lulu A, that's right, because her middle name is A. Lulu A case did this house did exist. This one didn't. The one on Shattuck Street. Yeah, 2486. Let's look at one of the later census records, maybe. Okay, here we go. 220 2222 Dwight Way. 2220 Dwight Way. Oh, hey, look at that. Oh. Is that a mod? That looks like a modern apartment building. Yep. That's definitely a modern, like, more modern apartment building. That wouldn't have been around in 1920. Hey, what about 1930? $3174. Birdsall? Okay, so 3174 Birdsall Avenue. Four. 174 Birdsall Avenue, Oakland? Is this in Oakland? Hold on. Yeah, that's Oakland. That looks like a house that might still be there. From 1930? Yeah, oh yeah, this could definitely... Oh yeah, with the, like, faux, like, the Santa Fe style. I believe that's what that called? Like the... Like, faux Spanish style? Yeah. Hold on, what's... Let me go ahead and look on Zillow real quick. Okay, hold on. 3174. Okay, yeah, here it is. Built in 1924. Yeah, that's it. 2 beds, 1 bath. 634,000. That's the estimate. I mean, that's not... I mean, for Oakland, I don't know. When was the last time it sold? It's only 1,000 square feet. Oh, is it for rent? 3,200 a month. Huh. That price is insane for that square footage. It is, but I mean, like, I don't know. Maybe it's just because, you know, I lived in California for a little bit, and I'm just kind of like, yeah, that tracks. For a, what is it, 2-bedroom? For a whole, like, a house? Yeah, 2 bedrooms, 1 bath. Yeah, for Bay Area especially. I mean, it is Oakland. Oakland is like, depending on the part of Oakland, Oakland can be very cheap, but it's also because it's Oakland, which has some very dicey areas. That, yeah, you can find some cheap stuff, but you probably don't want to live there. There, I live in a very cheap part of the country. Yeah. Yeah, from an outsider's perspective, yes, it's insane. But from somebody who, like, kind of grew up with it, it's just kind of like, yeah, that's fair. That's expected. I'm, like, numb to it at this point. Okay. So that means, hey, wait, that means both of them have a house that still exists. And what you know what that means? We got a bingo. Look at that. We got a bingo. First time in a while. And like I said, I'm comfortable with giving this a bingo because these are things that we found for both of them. If we had only found this for, like, some of these for, like, one of them, I wouldn't have done it, because that means, like, oh, if it turns out that one person was the right person, that would change the bingo. Okay. All right. Trying to think. What other things? Oh, actually, hold on. Let's look at this again. The yearbook page. Yeah, because Kansas State Agricultural College, 1911. Can we change? 119 of 311. I want to see if there's, like, other pictures of her. I just thought about this. What was the background of her family? Because to be able to send her to college in 1911, her family had to have been, like, wealthy, right? Is there a way? Hold on. Share. Hold on. Here we go. Okay. Editing staff. Scenes 20 years ago. College orchestra. I want to see if I can find like like pictures of like, because it said she was in the German club and the YWMCA. These are all like military, yeah, military stuff. Okay, that looks like a fraternity. That looks like, hold on. The Aggie Rooters Club. Football. 1911 football. Wonder how many of them died from playing football, because that was a thing back then. People died playing the sport. Barely, with just like some shoulder pads. Oof. Okay, yeah, that's all like football stuff. Okay, that's like the whole school. Let's see. Cold. Oh, okay, that's basketball. Dang, Edwards was dominating. Wait, hold on. Who piled up a record score for 1911? 76-21. That's crazy for basketball. Yeah, Edwards was dominating. 54 goals. That's not. I don't think that's 54 points. I think that's like number of goals. I mean, and it's also crazy that they call them goals and not like shots or like points or anything. Track. Hey, wait, what is this? Chapel. Who are these? Oh, the female basketball team. Wow, playing basketball. I'm assuming those are their uniforms. Playing basketball in a dress like that must have been just crazy. More basketball teams. Students Herald. That's like the newspaper. Debating. Okay. This is their like school song probably. Okay, here we go. Society and clubs. Alpha Beta Literary Club. Franklin Literary Society. The Ionians. Ionians. Okay, we can find the German club. We know she's in that. Hamiltons. Oh, in this one. She was in this one. I remember seeing this one, but is it gonna... Is it gonna say... Motto, while we live, let us live. Irene Case. Lulu Case. Okay. She's one of them in here. Hold on. If it's the same photo. Oh wait, is that her in like the center? Yeah, that's her right there, isn't it? Yeah, that's her. Look at that. She's like, okay, like bottom, not center, but yeah, look at that. We were like zoomed in almost right on her. So they just, looks like they just reused their other photos for this. Brownings, Athenian. Geez, there were so many societies. I mean, I guess what else are you going to do in college in 1911? Senior something dancing club. Student council. Near the barns. Who's this? Young Women's Christian Association. YMCA. Okay, maybe we'll get... Wait, hold on. No, wait, no, this is... Young Women's... Oh, wait, no, she was in this. Where is she? It doesn't... She's not listed on here. Because she was on the board of trustees of cabinet officers. Unless... Which one is her? Is that her? No, she doesn't have glasses and... She's wearing glasses. It's a little hard to tell. She might not be here because, like, this is only lists, like, these members. She's not listed there. German club. Aha. She is in this one. That kind of looks like... Oh, God. I feel like that kind of looks like her. Like, comparing those two faces. I think that is her. But again, the quality isn't the best. It's a little hard to tell. Something I've thought about doing... So yeah, so that's the last thing that she would be in, because the only 3 clubs that were listed under her name. Something that I've thought about doing as like a... This would be like a big project. And I don't know where I would find one, or what would be a good place to like start. But like, I've thought about, for like a bunch of streams, doing a thing where I find like a class photo from like this time period. Not a big class, like a class that's like enough people that, like, you know, fit on like one of those like collage pages, you know, that you see from this time period, where it's like, these are all the people who graduated, whether it's probably from like a high school, you know, kind of from that era. And I want to research everybody who's in the class and just kind of see what happened to all of them. And it's kind of like a mass, like a big project of like seeing, like, you know, how were these people, did they stay connected, did they go apart? Like, that's something that I want. I just need to find a starting point. I've thought about like maybe like if I find one and I'd like an antique store, that's what I would like to do. The other option is to just go on like Ancestry here and just pick one at random, which is entirely possible. I would watch that. I mean, that's good. Hey, I would have at least one. That's good to know. Thank you, Case. I'd have one viewer at least. But yeah, that's like a project that I've thought about doing, because I do also have. I keep forgetting that I have them. A few months ago, I went to an antique store and I bought a bunch of photographs, like antique photographs, that have like names on the back of them, like full names. And I want to do research streams for those to see if we can figure out who those people are. Yeah, exactly. A rural school with like 12 students or something, yes. But the problem with that, though, I feel like, is that if it is a rural school, there's going to be less like newspapers and like information kind of thing like about them. That's the only thing that like would be like difficult to do with that. With like a rural school, you're more like it'd be harder to find some information possibly. Something like, I don't know, like a small like kind of like farming community in like Pennsylvania or like upstate New York, or somewhere like in kind of like more like the industrial area, like the Rust Belt kind of area, you know. I just see like, you know, like what happened. Yeah, I don't know. There's just something. I had that idea the other day. I actually got that idea when I was on my trip to the UK recently. And I was walking around an antique store there. and I did find like it wasn't a class photo, it was like a society photo, you know, one of those like old, like, you know, kind of like this, but like for like an old, like, you know, like fraternal society. And that's where I got the idea of like, oh, what if I could research everybody who's in the photo? And I specifically thought of school because schools will have most school photos will have everybody's name, whereas like society photos like this a lot of times won't have everybody's name. And also with a lot of them, like sometimes it'll be a group like this and it'll be difficult to determine exactly who is who, like in the photo. But yeah, so that's what this kind of going through this kind of like reminded me of that's something that I want to do. I just need to find one. Okay, we got sidetracked by looking through this photo album. But yeah, I think that's her. It's hard to tell. I think that might be her. Where did we leave off the newspapers with her? I feel like we got distracted again and we stopped looking at the newspapers. Duty of the Oracle. Okay. Honor guest. Okay. Yeah, a lot of them are just... These are all talking about, like, the society. Okay, let's go further up. Let's go 1931 to 1940. We shouldn't... Whoa! Really? Nothing... Hold on. What if we just make it California? Oops. Okay. Santa Rosa, then it's near. New items from Republican files of 20 years ago. Miss Lulu Case of Berkeley was here for a visit with Miss D.K. Hawley and to attend the state camp of the Royal Neighbors of America to be held during the week in this city. Oh, this is another one of those, like, from 20 years ago, like, things. So in 1911, she was here for a visit in Santa Rosa. Los Angeles. Let's see, what's this one? For Grass Valley. No, that's not. It's not the area we want. Let's try Miss. Oh. Read the quote. Okay, this Oakland Tribute one. Ex-Berkeley official hurt. Hold on. Miss Lulu Case, former city bacteriologist in Berkeley, suffered a sprained neck last night when the automobile in which she was riding was struck by another machine at Alcatraz Avenue and Adeline Street. Miss Case was a passenger in the car of Miss Irene Branson, 317 for Birdsall Avenue, Oakland. Wait, is that who she was living with? Is that the same address as... Yeah, that was her roommate. Yeah, Irene C. Yeah. Irene C. Branson. She was also a teacher. So that's maybe how they met and like how they started living together. So wait, hold on. There were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There were 5 people living in this 1,000 square foot 2-bedroom house. Maybe it wasn't 2-bedroom at the time, but still, like, that's a lot of people in a small space like this. 1 bathroom. And was it all? Hold on. Yeah, these two. Yeah. Irene and her 2 kids. I'm assuming, is she divorced? Or widowed? Widowed. Yeah. Wow, so they got in a car crash together. Where she resides. The second car was driven by TC Scout, or CT Stout, 24111 Shattuck Avenue. How crazy would it be if it was like the other person was the other Miss Lulu Case? Like they were in the other car and they crashed into each other. At least, I mean, a sprained neck. I mean, that sucks, but it could have been way worse. That would, yeah. Honestly, it probably would have made the front page. That would be like, it would be like a, I don't know. It sounds like a Ripley's Believe It or Not title. That like 2 Lulu Cases, 2 people with the same name crash into each other. Let's see. Kansas alumni plan outings. Red was elected to secede. I think this is just a mistake. Lulu M. Case at the annual Kansas Aggies meeting. Because, yeah, she's from Kansas, so... Okay, this is the one that we already saw, right? With, like, the... Yeah, with the other courses that she was helping run the school for, like, poorer families, lower-income families. Wait, hold on. This is 1937. This is Sacramento. Miss Marjorie McDonald, who is on her way by now to Berkeley, will be the surprise guest of honor at a linen shower this evening given by her aunt, Miss Lulu Case, at which a number of the bride's-elect's former University of California classmates will be present. Her betrothal to Stuart Neville was announced last weekend. Huh. Okay, so that's her niece. Is it the same story? Yeah. This is the same event. Okay, January 26, 1940. Miss Day, Miss Fry entertain an Oriental party for AAUW book group in home of former. Huh. Atmosphere of the Orient devised by use of Oriental figurines, Japonica, and Narcissus was given the party held last night for the members of the AAUW book group number 4 in the home of Mr. and Mrs. Howard Day, assisting with the hostess, accompanying them. The theme was the book Moment in Peking, which was reviewed by Miss Harry R. Todd following the serving of a dessert course. Huh. So she was part of this book club, it looks like. Okay, so let's try 41 to 50. Because we know that she's... Red Bluff, Red Bluff, Red Bluff. They're all Red Bluff. Where's Red Bluff? Oh, it's way up there. So that's probably not her. If I had to guess, these ones aren't her. Miss Lulu Case, member of the Susanville Club. Mr. McKenzie tells club about members of the Red Bluff Business and Professional Women's Club. Okay, yeah, no, that's... I don't think any of these Red Bluff ones are going to be her. Let me just double check by checking another one. Farm ownership media schedule. Davy Jones and Miss Lulu Case. The local farm security administration office. Yeah, that doesn't... Red Bluff, Red Bluff, Red Bluff. Okay, there's one Sacramento. People you know. Local Miss Marilyn McDonald will skate at Berkeley concert. Miss Marilyn McDonald, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. M.E. McDonald, 2548 10th Avenue, is in Berkeley, where she has been invited to skate in the annual summer concerts presented in Iceland, Berkeley. The series of concerts are staged by the San Francisco Symphony Orchestra, the San Francisco Opera Ballet, and a group of ice skaters. Miss McDonald, a member of the Sacramento Figure Skaters Club, is the house guest of her aunt, Miss Lulu Case. Is that the same? No, because she got married. That was for like a marriage thing. So no, okay, this is a different niece. Prior to... Oh, wait, hold on. Mr. and Mrs. M.E. McDonald. Hold on. There was... Who? M.E. McDonald. Nanny. It has to be Nanny, right? No? Huh. No, that's a different... Huh. Yeah, prior to departure, Miss McDonald vacationed with her parents and her sister. And also her home in Jeju, Lake Tahoe. Okay. Okay, what's this one? 1948. Oh my god, there she is again. Just in case, to make certain that milk and cream consumers get a fair deal on butter, fat content, Bay District milk inspectors shop the stores and delivery trucks for samples. Check them with modern equipment. Here's Miss Lulu Case, Oakland technician, testing part of the day's samples. There she is, again. This is almost 25 years later from the one that we found. Hold on. Okay, no, that's one of them. That's from 1927. So this is 20 years later. Oop. Look at that. 20 years later. Still doing testing. She looks... I mean, yeah, she looks older, but she doesn't look... Well, considering she's about 40? She's 40 in this one, so she's 60 here. She doesn't look a ton older. Okay, Berkeley Gazette. Let's see. Businesswomen to install officers at January supper. The business and professional women of the First Presbyterian Church will hold annual installation of officers to close the program to follow the January supper meeting. New officers for 1950 to be installed by Reverend H. Barnes. President Miss Lulu Case. Yeah, you're right. She does look 40-ish, kind of like in both of them. So I say that's pretty good. Especially considering, like, you know, most people in, like, old photos look older to us than they actually are. Well, so this is going to be this... Oh, no, that's January. This is March. It's probably a similar... Businesswomen will see new films of mission work. Ms. Lulu Case, President, extends a cordial invitation to all women of the community who care to attend. President presiding. Yeah, so this is just more of her working with that. As she was president of the club. This woman will hold annual Thanksgiving dinner. Huh. Okay. So because she dies in... I mean, we can keep going. 61 to 70. Okay, we got a few. There she is again. She was in the paper a lot. Kitchen Cook of the Week. Kitchen inspires mosaic designer. Any of Miss Lulu Case's recipes calling for eggs end up as double masterpieces. For example, her angel pie recipe given here today and the lovely mosaic shown in the accompanying photograph. She's been working with eggshell art for about 2 years, started on the fascinating hobby by her sister, Miss Frances McDonald of Sacramento. Both have exhibited their work at Live Oak Recreation Center for the senior citizens. Miss McDonald, who is internationally known for her eggshell mosaics, has just completed Auburn one of the famed Auburn courthouse, recently torn down. As far as the localite knows, she and her sister are the only eggshell artists anywhere. Miss Case used to oil paint in leisure hours, but this took up too much space in her small Spruce Street apartment. Eggshell mosaics she can take up or put down easily. Materials may be stored in very little space, and not much working room is required. Retired for several years, Miss Case worked here for 12 years as a city bacteriologist. She also worked for the City of Oakland lab and as a milk technician for Borden's. From Kansas originally, she has lived here since 1917, and her community interests include the United Crusade, Heart Association, and Republican Women. A Kansas State University graduate, she majored in home economics and, as part of her chosen field, loves to cook. To make her angel pie, follow the easy recipe. To make an eggshell mosaic, start with the very small pieces after collecting enough shells for a picture, bowl or tabletop base. Having decided on a motif, you apply the shell bits with Elmer's glue. The design may be painted with oils either before or after gluing, or shells pre-dyed with the usual food coloring. When the mosaic is finished, it must be preserved with a coating of clear plastic spray. Do they have her? Oh, yeah, okay, here's the recipe. And there she is. Look at that. So are those... Is that the eggshell art? Look at her. She was in the paper a lot. Finishes making angel pie. She'll have enough eggshells to start another intricate mosaic. Okay, angel pie. Let's see. This pie has to be chilled overnight in the refrigerator to soften the margarine. Maringou? Huh. I think Maringou. I'm not a cook, so I don't know a lot of cook-related words. First, make the marinade as follows: 4 egg whites, 1 tablespoon of cream of tartar, quarter tablespoon of salt. Oh, meringue! God. God, meringue. Okay, I've heard the word meringue before. I don't think I've ever actually read it. Thank you, Case. So quarter tablespoon of salt, half tablespoon of vanilla, 1 cup sugar. Add cream of tartar, salt, and vanilla to egg whites in large deep bowl and beat until stiff. Add sugar gradually, beating continuously. When very stiff, heap into a well-buttered 8-inch or 9-inch oven-proof glass pie pan and bake it at 275 degrees for 1 hour. The meringue should be a delicate cream color, dry and firm to the touch. Cool thoroughly and spread the lemon filling. Lemon filling. 4 egg yolks, 2 tablespoons grated lemon peel, 4 tablespoons lemon juice, half cup of sugar, dash of salt. Combine ingredients and cook in double boiler, stirring consistently until thick and smooth. Cool, spread over center of cool meringue. Cover filling with a topping of 3/4 cup of whipped cream, 2 tablespoons sugar, 1/2 tablespoon vanilla, and 1/4 cup shredded coconut. Sprinkle coconut all over and refrigerate for 12 to 24 hours. Serves 6 to 8 persons. Chip chocolate or powdered peppermint candy may be substituted for topping. Okay. If somebody is actually here who's actually a cook, they can They can take that recipe. I can't cook, and I'm not a fan of cooking, so if they want to take that, they can. I want to see. Okay, hold on. Her sister's name, Frances McDonald. Hold on. I'm trying to see if I can find. Yeah, I don't see. When I Google that name, nothing comes up. It's like a lemon meringue pie with extra steps. I like to cook, but I usually just buy my pie crust. I mean, yeah, I've heard my mom bakes some, and I think she said that like pie crusts are like one of the hardest things to do. That's a lot easier just to buy the pie crust than to make it yourself. So for this, I guess you would just make the lemon filling. Let's see, what's this one? CWC welcomes new members. 8 new members were recently welcomed to the College Women's Club, Berkeley branch of the American Association of University Women. Miss Lulu Case of Spruce Street. Okay. So she's staying very active in like her life and everything. Oh. Here she is again talking about the eggshell. Mrs. Wallace Johnson, Flossie Barber, and Lulu Case look at eggshell mosaics on display as part of the Senior Citizens Hobby Show last Friday at the Berkeley Senior Citizens Meeting at the Berkeley YMCA. I think that's her. I'm assuming that this is like in order. Because I think that looks, yeah, that looks like her. Hundreds view Senior Hobby Show. Several hundred visitors viewed the displays of more than 50 exhibitors at the 12th annual Senior Citizen Hobby Show held recently at the Senior Center at the YMCA building on Allison Way at Milvia Street. One of the most unusual craft exhibits was the eggshell mosaics of Miss Lulu Case and Miss Flossie Barber. So much interest was evidenced in the making of attractive colored mosaics from bits of eggshell that it is planned to start a class the second Friday in January. Anyone interested in joining the class may sign up at the Senior Center during the next 2 Friday programs from 10 to 3 p.m. Huh. Dang, her eggshell thing was popular. Again, this is like not helping like separate, because she clearly, this shows that she was like crafty and everything. So she could have also, like invented this. Like she still could have done this. Because this is just proving that she was also, I mean, yes, she was doing like science work and everything, but like she was still crafty and artsy. So again, not helping narrow this down at all. I did look for other patents. I looked up I looked up her name, and the only thing that comes up when you search this name is the doll, the soap doll. That's it. So I don't think she made anything else. Yeah. Exactly, yeah, of course. Nothing else. Uh, Manners Festival of Color termed successful event. Walnut Creek Manor's spacious social hall was the setting for the Manor's Art Festival of Color, presented Saturday and Sunday with John Gurand as chairman. The exhibit included about 200 oil paintings, the great majority of them being the work of members of Miss Ornstein Bollock's Manor art class, of which Mr. Garand is a talented member. In the exhibit were other art and handcraft articles made of members of various classes, including ceramics and works of members of a class taught by Miss Dora Jackson, an exhibit of eggshell mosaics made by Miss Lulu Case and her sister, Miss Frances McDonald, a variety of artistic needlework produced under the direction of Fern Compton. Huh. Dang, yeah, her her eggshell thing was popular. Okay. Huh. Is this another... This is from like a few weeks later. Is this another one about her eggshell art? Oh yeah, this is the same... This is the same article. Okay, and then... 71 to... 80. I mean, she dies in 70... Oh wow, nothing. This is where the case runs cold. Hold on. Where was that? Okay, here we go. Okay, from Kansas, she has lived here since 1917. Wow, she spent over 60 years of her life in this area. What was this one? Miss Case goes to Yosemite. Oh, that's awesome. Miss Lulu L. Case of Berkeley has left for 3 weeks trip to the... hold on. Wait, where's the... Where's the continue... Russian River... Okay, here we go. Russian River Country and Yosemite Valley. Oh, I miss Yosemite so much. I love Yosemite. It's my favorite national park. By far. It's such a beautiful place. It's so awesome. And John Muir, who founded it, is like... Who helped... Or will help preserve it. Is like one of my history idols. Test water of YMCA pool. Review testing of sanitary condition of the swimming pool at the Berkeley Young Men's Christian Association. Dr. H.A. Sears, city bacteriologist, and Miss Lulu L. Case, assistant bacteriologist, have been making a rather extensive investigation of the water used for the pool and the processes employed for its purification. After the test of the first week, Dr. Sears made certain recommendations in regard to these processes, which are being put into effect. From present indications of the bacterial tests, believe that these changes are going to be the most successful in keeping the pool free from contaminating microorganisms. So this is, I guess, when she started, assistant bacteriologist. So she was assistant, and I guess maybe this was her predecessor, Dr. H.J. Sears. Let's see. Advertised letters. The following letters were advertised in the Alameda Post Office. Okay. Just a thing saying that she has letters. How many are in here? 10. On the 23rd, William and McGregor and family were registered at this Schlegater Hotel on the 22nd following... on the 22nd, the following birthday party. All these people of Woodland. Okay. That's when they were... Yeah, that's when they went to Yosemite. It's August, and that's in Merced. Yeah. Let's see, hold on. Okay, hold on. Dr. Sears explained. Inside working of a municipal laboratory. Oh wow, so this is talking about all the stuff that they're doing. Soon Dr. Sears took his visitor into his confidence and explained this labor in the interest of public health. Told of things in the form of health and life protection probably unknown to more than 2 out of 100 of the disease population, although the health laboratory is right under the noses of people. And the young lady over there, queried the gentleman from Yellow County, she seems to be straining of her eyes over those tubes. That is Miss Lulu Case, replied the bacteriologist. She is counting bacteria, or what you call bugs, sir. And then Dr. Sears explained in answer to questions that the sterile cotton swabs and tubes culture media are furnished by him to physicians in cases of diphtheria. He told how the throats and noses of suspected cases are swabbed. Okay, so that's just, yeah, so she, just again, showing that she's there. Toads invade Berkeley office. Whoa, what happened here? Pest of toads called out the office cleaner at the city bacteriologist laboratory this morning, when she suddenly entered and more suddenly left upon seeing toads and frogs leaping in every direction on the floor. The frightened woman learned later that the presence of the little innocents was due to the small girl she saw seated on the chair of the assistant bacteriologist, Miss Lulu Case. The child had been told by a jocular fellow who wields the besom over a part of the Berkeley streets that the city bacteriologist, Dr. H.J. Sears, was giving $5 per toad for every one brought to his laboratory, and that frogs are necessary for scientific investigation. The girl yesterday collected quite a number, placed them in a candy box, in which she made numerous ventilating holes and added lettuce leaves for the sustenance of the small things. Upon arriving at Dr. Sears' office without a word, she opened the box and let out the toads and frogs, and telling the surprised scientist the purpose of her visit, said she expected to collect from him $5 a head for the 10 little scared things. When it was all explained, Dr. Sears told her she might take them to the University of California, where she could possibly receive 15 cents a head. She left crestfallen. Aw. Dang, she got scammed. She got scammed, being told that she was gonna get these frogs. It's crazy that she like brought the frogs and then just like somehow got into the office and then just let them free. Didn't like think to, okay, we'll put them in like a cage or a, some sort of like aquarium or something like that. Uh, okay. Let's see, on the margin. Diphtheria, while we have only one case in the city of Berkeley with 2 cases of typhoid fever, declared Miss Lulu Case, assistant bacteriologist, to Dr. Sears of the Berkeley City Laboratory. Now that's a great showing, isn't it? Can anyone wonder what the clever little lady showed a pride in her smile as she turned to her analytical and microscopical researches? Let's see. What is this one? Wait, what is this? Case funeral Saturday at 10. Funeral Samuel F. Case. Hold on, is that? That's her father. That's her father. The funeral Samuel F. Case, recent resident of Woodland, who died at 3 o'clock yesterday, will take place Saturday morning at 10 o'clock from the Quellenberg Company's funeral chapel, with the Reverend leader Turney officiating. Interment will be in the Woodland Cemetery. Mr. Case came to Woodland with his family about 5 months ago from Berkeley, where he had been for 2.5 years. He had been suffering from disorders of the kidneys, his last illness covering a period of 3 weeks. His widow and 5 of 6 surviving children were with him in his last moments at the late home on Johnson Street. Deceased was a native of Indiana, born January 2nd, 1950. He was a retired farmer and a man of sterling qualities, devoted to his family. He is survived by his widow, Rebecca E. Case, 3 sons, Victor Case of Woodland, now sojourning at Hot Springs, Arkansas, George Case and Frank Case, both of Kansas City, and 3 daughters, Miss Lulu Case of Berkeley, Mrs. R.A. Cranston of Wichita, Kansas, and Mrs. M.E. McDonald of Woodland. He was father-in-law of Dr. M.E. McDonald of this city. Huh. Let's see. We have 2 more here. And I think after these 2 is where we're going to call it. Berkeleyan passes away. SFK. Okay, yeah. Late arrival here from Berkeley. Died last evening at the home of his daughter, Miss Emmy McDonald. 5 of 6 children. He had suffered for a long time as a kidney complaint. Having 3 sons and 3 daughters. Okay, yeah. A lot of this is just the same information we just saw. What is this? Of the city who was a city chemist will continue as chemist and bacteriologist. Wait, is this? Where is this continuing from? Where does this one continue from? Mission news from people. I can't tell where. Where does that come from? Because it's saying of the city. There's Lulu Case, who was a city chemist, will continue as a chemist and bacteriologist. Of a woman. Yeah, I can't tell where that. Where does that article come from? Because there's a sentence that ends there. Like half, or there's part of a sentence. It makes it looks like it's this column, but there's nothing there. That's weird. It's almost like it's a mistake. Let me just try real quick. Because we already did 23. Welcome, person, Miss Lulu Case of Berkeley Health Department. Arrived in Woodland Friday for a visit with R.E. Case. She is on her annual vacation. Okay. So sometime between 1919 and 1921 is when she became the bacteriologist. Oop. Family overcome by gas recovering. Pronounced completely out of danger. Miss Polly Merriam and her 3 small children, who were found in a semi-conscious state yesterday morning at their home, left Temple Hospital this morning. The mother and her children were overcome by fumes from a gas heater, all the windows of the home being closed. A possibility that milk of which the children and mother had partaken may have caused the poisoning was investigated by health authorities today, but analysis made by the city bacteriologist, Ms. Lulu Case, eliminated this theory. Look at that. She's being used to solve cases like this. All right. Women fill many city jobs in Berkeley. Oh wait, is there a drawing of her here? Auditor's assistant, Walsh Jensen, Miss Bernie Lester, no. Dang, I was hoping she was going to be there. Most interesting is the work of Miss Lulu Case, city bacteriologist, who, armed with test tubes and microscopes, an expert eye for microbes, discovers what's wrong with the health of her city. Is that all that talks about her? No, yeah, that's it. Dang, I wish she had a drawing. That would have been cool. Card party held. Okay, and she's just listed as a guest at a bridge party. got 2 more small ones here. Miss Lulu Case returns from her home in Berkeley. Sacramento Star. Okay, so probably visiting her sister. And this one, Miss Bernice Lester, Secretary of the Berkeley Health Department, and Miss Lulu were roused from sleep by firemen and fled to the street. Wait, fire chief prevents jumping by student who directed the firefight. Wait, where is this at? 4 firemen injured in Berkeley blaze. Gas menaces live in many of nightclub tenants flee to street. 4 firemen were injured while 2 score or more persons were forced to flee to the street in a night closed as a result of a fire which threatened to destroy the Barker Block, Shudock Avenue, yeah, and Dwight Way, yep, at 2 o'clock this morning. Occupants of the Ramona Apartments, which comprise the second and third stories of the building, were routed from their beds by firemen. Several had to remain on the streets in the rain for almost 2 hours. Dangers from escaping gas and the possibility of new explosions forced Fire Chief Sidney Rose to take precautions to prevent facilities or injuries. Damage to the building and contents is estimated at $3,500. So she was in the building. Miss Bernice Lester, Secretary of the Berkeley Health Department, and Miss Lulu Case, yeah, sleep bacteria were roused from sleep by firemen and fled to the street. Yeah, so she was her where she was. This is where she was living. Dang, it's great. Thankfully, I mean, only a few firemen were hurt, but thankfully nobody died. All right. Okay, I think, given the time and how this one it was a little bit of a bust, just the fact that we couldn't 100% confirm which Lulu Case made this. But we did find some cool stories about, a local, a Berkeley bacteriologist, a scientist, and with tons of photos, and the other Lulu Case, where we found, photos of her, the fact that we found photos of both of them is actually really cool and interesting. But I think with that, we're going to go ahead and we're going to call it there tonight. Let's go ahead and go back to the office. And we got a bingo tonight, which is also great, That hasn't happened in a while. We've been bingo list for a little bit. But yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching. That was a fun time tonight. Even though, like I said, we didn't 100% confirm what we were looking for, we still found some cool stories. But yeah, so if you're new here, I'm not a professor. I do history streams like this every Sunday and Wednesday night at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And so if you want to know when next time I go live next, make sure you go ahead and follow to see more cool history streams. For this weekend, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to have time to do a gorilla stream like on Saturday. I don't think I'll be able to, just timing wise. Also, this Sunday stream, normally, like I said, I stream at 6:30. I have some stuff going on that day that might make me have to stream earlier in the day. Possibly like late afternoon, instead of the normal 6:30 time. So be on the lookout for that. Yeah. Hello, Maddie Holmes. Thank you for joining. Sadly, unfortunately, we're leaving. Actually, we're just wrapping up stream here. Yeah, I know. Yeah, sorry, but let's see. Just real quick, I do. I'll just give you the quick spiel again. I do history research streams. Today we actually, hold on. Let me just really quick. Show show you what we did today. We were researching the inventor of this creepy soap doll patent, which we know was by a woman named Lulu Case from Berkeley, California. Unfortunately, though, we discovered that there were two Lulu Berkeleys living in, or two Lulu Cases living in Berkeley at the same time, which was really, we weren't able, unfortunately, to figure out exactly which one was the one who invented this patent, but we found some interesting stories about some of them, and like pictures of specifically Miss Lulu Case here, who was a bacteriologist for the city of Berkeley. So yeah, interesting stuff like that. Oh, your undergrad is archaeology. Actually, I have an undergrad in archaeology too. Sometimes we talk about archaeology stuff on here, but it's mostly... Oh, I just realized I'm still in the corner from when I showed you what I found earlier. Let's see. Where's the PNG? There we go. I appreciate you asking, Maddie, but I'm not gonna say for doxing reasons. But I do have an undergrad in archaeology, yes, and history. I was a double major, history and archaeology major. Yeah, I'm gonna, yeah, just because it is, you know, I do. Part of the reason why I'm streaming like this is because I do value my privacy. So, yeah, but, yeah, thank you for understanding it. I appreciate that. But, yeah, so like I said, I do stream every Wednesday and Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we do fun history research streams like this. But this Sunday, our next stream probably will be earlier, at like maybe like 3 or 4 o'clock, just because I have some stuff I have to do that evening. But yeah. So if you want to go ahead and follow, so that way you know when I go live next, you can do that. And also down below, I also have a YouTube channel where I've made some YouTube shorts about some of the stuff that we found on our streams. And yeah, I think that pretty much covers everything. Let's go ahead then, and let's see if we can find somebody to raid. Let's see. Who is live right now? This is always the part that takes me the longest to figure out of like who we're gonna raid. Let's see. Okay. We're gonna go ahead and we are going to raid Benny Fitz. He's currently playing Warframe. But he's a really cool streamer. He's actually unique in that he's actually a puppet. He's actually like his model. Well, it's not a model because it's just like he's a puppet. He's a hand puppet. And he's just really cool, really funny guy. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna raid him. There we go. All right. Let's go ahead and make a quick raid message. Oh, whoops, nope. So this will be for subscribers. Do I know Shane? No, I don't know a specific. Shit, you're gonna have to be more specific than a Shane. Shane's a bit of a. That doesn't really narrow it down much. And then let's go ahead and let me make my raid message for followers. Okay, there we go. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and raid Benny. Yeah, so thank you guys so much again for being here. I hope you had a great time tonight. And I'll see you guys Sunday. But yeah, have a good night, everybody. Take care.
Not a professor now. Not a which I think means not a professor. Not a professor, like it's a redundancy. Raiders, welcome in. It is I, Benny. Oh, I have to get away from that. This is a wall ledge. I'm gonna skip this.